Lucy's enjoying her cereal bar. Your breakfast bar. You want the camera? Lucy's breakfast was, or is going to be, she had blueberries already. Probably can see some reminiscence of that on her face. Then the strawberry breakfast bar. And then she's going to have, well, I think that's her mother's eggs, but normally she has an egg or two as well. Probably what she'll have. So my breakfast is really boring. I pretty much eat damn near the same thing every single day. So it is 80 grams of oats. I went with quick oats this time. I normally rotate between quick oats and old-fashioned oats. However, the benefit to doing quick oats is you can mix it with protein powder a lot easier. So 80 grams of quick oats, and then I'm going to do a half a serving of frozen blueberries. So one serving is 140 grams, so we'll do half of that. Then half a serving of whole strawberries, and a serving of that is again 140 grams. So we'll do a half a serving of the frozen blueberries and a half a serving of the frozen strawberries, and when it's all said and done, it'll only be about 15 grams of carbohydrate from fruit, so not that bad at all. And then of course there's 54 grams of carbs from the oats. And for the egg portion of the meal, 4 egg whites and 2 whole eggs, like normal.
My sandwich looks good.
Peanut butter.
I know.
Alright, so oatmeal, eggs, fish oils. My standard breakfast: 18 grams of fat, 75 grams of carbohydrate, 39 grams of protein, 12 grams of fiber in all this. So I'm off to a good start today. Going for 3,100 calories. Alright, meal 1. It's about to go down. And that, my friends, is a world famous tuna bowl. Well, it's probably not world famous, but in this house, it's world famous. Alright, so what I got here is 200 grams of white rice, a can of Wegmans albacore tuna. It has to be albacore tuna. Don't mess with that chunk light shit. That's garbage. It's kind of like cut broccoli. Those are just two things when it comes to food that you have to avoid at all costs. Cut broccoli. Have you ever... So Ashlyn brought home cut broccoli. Actually, if you go back and watch the last... It might have been the last episode of this series. I can't remember. One of my last videos where I talk about getting groceries and stuff. Ashlyn came home with groceries. And she bought cut broccoli. Which, hey, rookie mistake. There's 2 different types of broccoli. Cut broccoli and broccoli florets. Now, the cut broccoli tends to be about 90% stems. Yeah, you'll still get your fiber in there, but it's just not up to standard. Same with chunk like tuna. For one, you can't drain it. It's like a complete bitch to drain. And 2, it's all like grainy. It's like you have no chunks of meat. It's like, I don't know. It just looks like they took tuna and put it in a blender and then put it in a can and then here you go. So, that little detail right there, the Wegmans solid white albacore, that's a huge detail. And mind you, the Wegmans part of it's actually pretty important as well because I've tried like Sunkist, tried like all the different brands and nothing really compares to Wegmans. So Wegmans, if you happen to be in New York, there's a few in PA. I think there's some maybe in like New Jersey. I don't know, but it's a Rochester, New York started, upstate New York company. So they're all over upstate New York. That's, for those of you outside of upstate New York, you don't have the privilege of having a Wegmans. Fun story on Wegmans before I get back to the rest of the whatever I want to talk about right now is 3 years ago, actually around this time 3 years ago, Nick Wright came to visit me. And, we were busy that weekend and we filmed a bunch of training videos and some other videos. I had a lot of projects going on. So we worked hard during the day and then at nighttime, we let off a little steam and had some fun. So we didn't get to hang out that much. Or we never really get to hang out that much. So, we want to have a good time. And it was probably, I don't know, early in the morning hours of November in upstate New York. Very cold. And Nick Wright I found out that Nick Wright had never seen a Wegmans, which, I mean, it shouldn't be all that surprising. I mean, if you're not from upstate New York or not in upstate New York area a lot, then you probably haven't seen a Wegmans. So I made us pretty much walk across town in probably 20-degree temperature to see the inside of a Wegmans. And we're in no condition to go grocery shopping, if you get what I'm saying. So, long story short, he wasn't as impressed. But, for those of you who've been to Wegmans, they're actually probably the best grocery store there is. But, alright, so, tuna bowl. Tuna, rice, and as much sriracha as you think would even be edible. I mean, if once you get to the point where you're like, hey, that's probably enough sriracha, it's not. Just keep dumping it on. So, after 2 meals, pretty basic, but that's my day. That's my life. I mean, really, I eat basic shit, and I eat a lot of the same meals. Now, I've worked with hundreds of nutrition clients over the years. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this since I was like 17 years old and 24 now. So we're getting up there, almost like 7-8 years of doing online coaching. I've worked with hundreds of people. And one of the things, especially with flexible dieting, that I've come to realize, one of the very small details of success that I found, like qualities of people who are successful with nutrition, is they eat the same things. Now, flexible dieting, that kind of flies in the face of flexible dieting because you're thinking, well, shit, flexible dieting is, to be more flexible with your nutrition, you can eat more things, which is true. However, flexible dieting is really just a way of tracking your food. And of course, when you track your macronutrients, and as long as you're hitting your fiber and micronutrient goals, you have some room for variance as far as food selection goes. So you can eat Pop-Tarts, you can eat ice cream, you can fit in whatever you want. However, I highly recommend having staple meals, having, a go-to breakfast, a go-to meal 2, lunch, or whatever, like a go-to dinner, go-to snacks, where you pretty much have a really good idea of what the macros are, and they're, so you're consistent with it. And then, in certain situations when you go out to eat, have something different and then track that and replace a meal with that, or, have a birthday party to go to or a get-together at night. Though that's when flexible dieting really comes in handy for those situations when you're outside your element. You can stay on track without, having to, bring your Tupperware of fucking chicken and broccoli. However, like me, most of my day is at home. I work from home. I work from my home office, so I'm home, majority of the time. My day is I wake up, I work at home, go to the gym, come home, work, hang out with the baby, hang out with Ashlyn. So I have no reason to really need to be super flexible because, shit, I'm home all the time, so I can eat pretty much the same thing every day, and I'm fine with it taste-wise. I'm boring with that. But I can eat pretty much whatever I need to do. But it's something... However, that's not to say that you can't be super flexible and still hit your goals and still be awesome. You can, and I've had probably 100 clients are way on that side too, you know what I mean, that are super flexible and still do a great job. It's just, it's easier when things are consistent, when you have a routine, when you have go-to meals, and you're not always trying to, play this huge-ass puzzle with your macronutrients, and you're like, I had this today, and it's completely different than my breakfast yesterday, and it was completely different than, my first 2 meals a day are way different than what I normally do, so now I have no idea of what I need to eat. And then you end up at, in tough situations at nighttime where you're like, I got all these like weird numbers to try to hit, and then what happens is you're not really consistent. And I would say the biggest issue people have with flexible dieting and just nutrition in general, and why they don't see results, is because they're not consistent. And not consistent with flexible dieting as in you're not consistently hitting their numbers. You know what I mean? You put yourself in predicaments late at night, and then you're like, well, fuck it, I can't really hit these macros, I'll just try to get as close as I can, which there's something to be said for that, but if you're never on point, then you're never really following your diet. You're never really following the program. So, this is a long spiel, but I highly recommend consistency. Does this need more hot sauce? I'm not sure, but I might have to go back upstairs. And this is my second meal, so kind of like lunchtime. So, maybe an afternoon cocktail. I am at the bar right now. I do have a bar in my office, fully stocked with G Fuel, by the way. But I'll probably save that for after workout, maybe later tonight. Watching Thursday night football or something. Although it's a shitty ass game tonight. It's Tennessee and Jacksonville. Who's gonna watch that? Last Thursday night was the game. Buffalo at the Jets. There's a Bills thing I need to put up on the wall. I'm basically going for my office to be one side library, one side bar. Like legit like sports bar. You know, with the flat screen TVs and shit, and a bar and beer in the fridge, and you know what I mean. So it's pretty unique, but that's what I'm trying to go for. Sirs.
What are you eating, Lucy?
Alright, so I have my pre-workout meal 3. 8 ounces of almond milk. Lucille.
Never fails.
Lucille, I'm doing a very important video right now. Then 1 scoop of whey protein. What is this? Extreme milk chocolate. Then we're going to weigh out half a cup, so 40 grams of quick oats. This is where the quick oats come in. Old fashioned don't really mix as well. Alright, mix this up. Have a green apple, and then one last thing to complete the pre-workout meal.
Tell me, yeah, Pop-Tart.
1 Pop-Tart pastry.
You're going hard with the carbs today.
Huh?
Said you're going hard with the carbs today.
It's not really.
Well, an apple?
So far, up to this point, after I eat all this, it'll be 36 grams of fat, 232 grams of carbohydrate, and 114 grams of protein. So only 230 grams of carbs. It's not really that much.
I know, but you normally don't eat both an apple and a Pop-Tart.
I know, but I'm not today.
Always posing.
Like a baby. What are you doing? What are you doing? Your poverty sweet potato fries compared to mine.
Okay,
However, they probably felt bad because they forgot to cook mine. No joke, they literally didn't cook it. So I had to come out afterwards. So Joe and I are at Red Robin. Yum. And I got the fiery ghost burger. I don't even know if you can hear me because I'm kind of being quiet. Even though there's nobody in here, so
No.
I don't know why I'm being quiet. So a fiery ghost burger, post-workout mealage. What'd you get?
This is a blue ribbon burger. It has blue cheese and like a steak sauce kind of aioli on it.
And we both went with the sweet potato fries because why not?
They're delicious.
They're the best type of fries. So
For sure.
all right, this is what we're having for post-workout recovery from that bench workout. Yeah, ghost peppers are the hottest. We're talking about spicy peppers. This is a pretty spicy burger right here. I didn't have any of the fried jalapenos, so they threw on extra fresh, which is making this burger absolutely delicious. It's amazing.
Not bad.
How's yours?
It's actually really good. I've only taken 1 bite, but it's quite good.